So yesterday we reviewed the DaVinci Resolve interface and how we use database.
So wait a little bit, Đi. So ទាំងអស់គ្នាមានសំណួរអីដែរទេមុនពេលឌីគាត់បានថារំលឹកមេរៀនបន្តិចឡើងវិញតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹង DaVinci
អត់តមានខ្ញុំអត់តមាន
ចាអូខេចឹងអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចបន្តទៀតបានទេ Can we continue? Dee will recap the training from tomorrow for yesterday, and then we'll continue another program.
Okay, great.
Okay, so Dee, you can start.
Okay, great. So again, this was what we went over yesterday. We opened up Resolve and went over creating a local database or a database on a hard drive, and how DaVinci has all the project files saved in databases versus project files. And then we also went over how to create a project. Let me open the project up really quick. Oh. Can you guys see all the can you guys see the editing program?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So we went over the media pool, which you can toggle here, and you can see where all your footage is, and creating bins and creating a timeline. We also went over really quickly effects, transition, video effects, audio transitions, titles, and then we also highlighted the different menu over here on this side, mixer for audio, viewing audio levels, the inspector window, which is a window that we can change settings on.
It's a loading section.
It's loading what?
Load project.
Oh, is it? Is it still loading?
I think so. I haven't seen the timeline.
On your screen, share screen. Yeah, you can see.
Okay. It worked now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I haven't played anything yet. Okay. Hopefully it's still good. Yeah. So we went over how you can change effects over here in the inspector window for each clip, including resizing and cropping. And there's a whole bunch of other ones here that we didn't go over, but you can explore as you get a chance. And then we also went over the different tools that is available on the timeline for trimming, including the trim mode, the slip and slide mode tools, the blade for separating clips, inserting clips, overwriting clips on the timeline, and then replacing clips. And just to remind everybody, the slip tool, you can put your mouse over the top of a timeline or a clip, and you can slip the content within that clip without changing the duration of the specific clip that you're working with. And then the slide tool, you can change the in and out point and everything behind or in front of it, whichever location you start at will stay the same. And all you're doing is you're just adjusting the in and out point of that specific clip. Again, we went over inserting clips into it. So if we wanted to insert a clip, we would just press I on a keyboard and O on the keyboard to set an in or a start and an out or a end point to a clip. So a smaller section of the clip, and we can then insert it into those. And we could then insert it into the timeline, or we can adjust our track, select different tracks and insert it kind of like above it. But insert, of course, splits the timeline unless you lock them. And I don't know if we went over, I can't remember, but I think we went over how you can solo a track and mute a track in the audio. And then overwrite again. We can overwrite a clip if it's selected here. If you wanted to overwrite the clip, you can overwrite clip that way, or you can replace a clip. All right. We also went over how you create transitions using something called J and L cut, which is showing either audio or video from the next clip before showing the actual clip. So for example, showing a video clip before you hear the audio coming through, or showing the audio of the second clip before you see the actual video, and just creating smoother transition with this type of cuts. And then we also went over how you can create transitions using actions or camera movement and creating more seamless transitions using camera movement. All right. Aside from that, did you guys have any other questions that about this editing program before I move to Adobe Rush?
អញ្ចឹងឌីគាត់សង្ខេបមេរៀនពីម្សិលមិញនិយាយពី DaVinci បន្តិចហ្នឹងណាដូចបង្កើត file management បង្កើត bin
I got one question. How do you put text in DaVinci? Which is a good question because we didn't go over it. You can use these preset titles in the effects panel. Make sure the effects panel is turned on. And then you can use some of the free ones that they have. I believe the Fusion titles are paid titles. But for example, a very simple basic title is free. And all you have to do is drag and drop it onto your timeline. And then using the inspector window again, you would be able to adjust, the title, the text on it. And then the fonts and the sizing, spacing between text, and stroke and drop shadows on your text. So you can change a lot of effects here. To create a loop video, as in, do you want to play in a loop, or do you want to?
Good morning, Dee. So usually I create like a looping video for a conference, which will be played before the conference and during the break. So the video itself is only like a few minutes, but I have to put it in a loop. Yeah, in a sense that it has to sound, especially the background music, it has to sound like one long version of music. Like, is there any easier way?
Okay, so the best way you would be able to do it is, I think what's going to be more important is your music. If you can find a song where you can cut, basically the beginning and the end of the song are going to sound the same. And then there's a way here to play back the loop when you're watching it, but when you export the video, there is no way to loop it. That's going to depend on your player. So whatever video program you're going to be playing the video from at the conference, you'll have to figure out if that program has looping. So for example, QuickTime, if you're playing your video through QuickTime, you need to figure out if QuickTime has the looping effect of playing the video over and over. With the audio, like I said, I think there's some places that will have music that just has a looped section. So you would just, the beginning and the end of that song is basically, the beginning and the end of that song, when you loop it, they sound like one continuous song. So there's no interruption in the music. With video, I think because video has cuts, if you loop it, it's not gonna look any different, but you would have to really focus on the music. So that's a matter of finding the right music and then making sure that the beginning and the end of your music, they're not gonna be the exact same, but basically the end of the music needs to stop right before the beginning sound starts again. Does that make sense? Hopefully that helps a little bit.
Yeah, I think you answered my question, and usually I did it manually, like I copied and paste and drag and drop it to make it like 50 minutes video, and it's quite laboring.
Yeah, no, just find a player that will loop it for you. There's a lot of different players. I know I used to be able to play video in a loop using this program called VLC. Although I don't know, it's a free program, but I don't know if they are providing support for the program anymore. But the best bet to loop videos and conferences like that is just to loop it within your player and not, create 15 minutes of the same video. So it'll make your life easier. That way you can just create your video, make sure the music, again, sounds good when it's looped, and then have the program actually loop the playback for you. That's going to be the much easier way to do that.
Yes, thank you very much, Dee.
No problem. Okay, so any other questions? I'm going to jump into Adobe Rush now.
I have one question from Simain Dee.
From
are we able to add border around the video?
Yeah, you can create those using like effects or generators, but I think a few of these may be I haven't really explored the graphics yet, the generators, just because again I use mainly a different editing program, but because this is the most easiest one to kind of like start using, I think there's a way to generate something, but it doesn't look like it's really showing it here. One other option, which is like a cheat sheet, I guess, if you wanted to create border, is you can import another, let's say, I'm just going to use this image as an example for now. I'm sure there's like a better way to do it. So what you could do is, let's pretend this is just like a white background. You could move this background under your video, and then in your video you can crop your video and then create like frames that way. This is just a cheat way of doing it. Since I can't see, I don't know if they have the generators to be able to create the graphics, because I haven't used the graphics yet in this program. But so this is another way that you can do it, kind of find like an alternative way of being able to create those borders. The other way is you can also, if you use something like Photoshop, you can create the borders on Photoshop or some other photo program, and then import it in and then lay it over the editing program. It's a lot more easy in my other program because I know it by heart. So for this one, hopefully this is useful and hopefully it answers your questions for now. Your question for now. Let me see if there is a way that I can just do it. Okay, here's another cheating way, I guess, to do it. It might not be the best way. I'm almost 100% sure that if you did a research on Google about how you overlay the graphics, you might be able to do it much faster. Another technique that you could use is, you can add the title oh, let's say we already have title. You could just create, you know, add a background to it. And maybe the background is like white or something. Let's see where the opacity is. See if it's working. See if this works. Maybe not. Maybe it might not work actually. Yeah, so try the other way. It seems like the background's not really appearing, so this strategy might not work. Yeah. Right, hopefully that helps you a little bit with just like the cropping and then adding like a white background or whatever color background you want on the bottom, and then cropping the frame a little bit. If I will try to figure that out, and I can also send you some tips on how to do that. Is there any way to slow or speed up videos that would be in effects? Oh, you know what? Maybe I can do an adjustment layer on it. Create that one.
I was just wondering, I think, like where you would, you know, create like a slow-mo shot of something in this editing platform.
Yeah, you would just use this speed change, but it looks like you might have to like buy the program to be able to use it. Yeah. So you can do the speed change here, but since it's grayed out, I'm assuming that you probably have to buy this feature on the program to be able to like speed and slow stuff down, but it's pretty much in the inspector window. But it looks like you can change the directions. Let me test. Maybe we can do it. Oh, there you go. Yes, we can do it in the free version. Yes, for free versions. So did you see that, Elizabeth, in the rest?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it just select your clip, and in the inspector window, you know, change the speed of the clip. This looks like a little snow. I haven't used this one yet, but yeah. So you can change the frames per second and the right direction of the video playing. Can you insert subtitles in there? It looks like there is a way. It's showing me this because I'm looking at stuff that's paid. There is a way to generate subtitles on the bottom here. I believe you should be able to insert SRT files. Let me try it. I feel like we should be able to do that in this one. I have a lot of SRT files that we could use. Yeah, so you can insert in SRT files. So just like other editing programs, you can insert in the SRT files for subtitles. And then it looks like if you click on the caption or the SRT files, then the subtitles will appear over here, and then you can edit as needed. And then you can adjust the styles in this window. So looks like all the effects control you'll need to do is in the inspector window. So if you ever decide to add anything new, and this is the really cool thing about creating, about editing videos through different professional editing program, because layouts a lot the same, is that most editing program will have something like an inspector window where you can do effects just on a certain clip. So whenever you're adding in anything new, always look for that window to see if you can change settings. Okay, great. Yeah, it's SRT. All right, let's quit Resolve here. And let's go to my PowerPoint on Adobe Rush. All right. And before I actually do anything, today I put my PowerPoint in a PDF format for everyone, with some notes. So I'm just gonna add that really quick onto our chat here so everybody can open it up. It also has some feedback on some tips and on the Adobe Rush program, and some notes on there that you can kind of follow along while I go through the program. It's uploading. It's about 2 megabytes. Hopefully it's not too big. Alrighty. All right, so Adobe Rush is actually, I remove everybody to a different side of my window so I can see you all. At least the one that I can see. So Adobe Rush is actually a cross-platform video editing program. You can use it on mobile, you can use it on desktop, you can use it on your tablet. The only thing is that the mobile is the only free one. If you use it on a desktop, you know, you're only allowed about 3 videos export before there's like a charge for it, or there'll be like a watermark in your video. So the reason why I chose Adobe Rush mobile editor to do this training and to introduce you guys to mobile editing is because it's free and it's pretty easy to use. If you want to subscribe to something like Adobe Rush, you can, I think it's about like $10 a month for Adobe Rush, but you're able to then edit your project on mobile, and then you can open your desktop up, and then you'll be able to use you'd be able to edit the same project as well. And then let's say you travel somewhere, you can also open that same project on a tablet. And this is because all the projects are housed in a cloud storage. So your project is, basically with you on all your different devices, which is pretty cool if you want to get started in editing, but you don't want to, go all the way to those professional editing program, or maybe you, want to just stick with Rush for both mobile, desktop and tablet. Then, I think it's a pretty good investment if you want to go that route. But today we'll only be highlighting the mobile program. If you guys need somebody to translate, please send her a quick text on chat. Otherwise, we'll continue in English. All right, so if you're following along, please open up your Adobe Rush app on your phone. When you first open Adobe Rush, you'll encounter this login window. I just logged in with Google because I use Google a lot. So you can go ahead and log in on one of these, however, which one you want. If you continue with Adobe, then you'll create a Creative Cloud, a free account, and it should still let you use it for free. Again, with most free programs, there are some limited feature, but I think there's enough here that you can create a video especially for social media and the like. All right, so once we have logged in, hopefully you guys were able to log in via Google. We're gonna get to this a window to create a project. And here I will share my editing all right, so to create project, all you have to do is obviously just click the create new project button, and then go into any your albums, for example, and start looking for the clips that you want to use. So these are the clips that I want to use. So the thing about Adobe Rush is that if you click all the clips together, when you create a project, it'll actually put all the clips in a timeline for you. So if that's not what you want, maybe just select one clip and then you can title it. Let me title it. Such a long title. All All right, and then see there's an option right here at the corner, low corner right here saying sync with CC. And this is if you had the paid program, it'll sync everything up to the cloud. So I'll create a sequence using that. As you can see, what it does, it actually just lays all of the footage that you had down here in this timeline. And it looks a little bit different than the ones that we, than the DaVinci timeline, right? But we'll change it so it looks a little bit similar. Let's go over the menu really quick. Down here on the bottom, there's a big plus button, and this is the button where you can add additional footage. So, you know, if you wanted to look at your media again, so your camera roll, photo, anything you want to add to the project, you can add it using this. So let's do this fish tagging photo, and it'll prepare your media, and then it'll actually add it directly right into the timeline. Wherever your playhead was, it'll just add it to the timeline. The one thing you need to keep in mind is you can, oh, actually, no, not one thing to keep in mind, but to be able to zoom in and out of the timeline, all you have to do is use your finger to zoom in and out. So it's really, it's like editing with your finger. So all you got to do is just move your finger in and squeeze in and out to stretch out to see those clips bigger. Also,
when we insert the photo and then the project setup, there are 16 /9 and 9/16. There are different.
Oh, it's telling you. Oh, okay. So it's asking you guys for the different frame. Yes. We'll just go to that right now. So in this little icon with the two boxes on the bottom, this is basically the dimensions of the video that you want the final video to be. So if you wanted to create a 16:9:16 ratio, this is basically Instagram video, you would choose that, and Rush will automatically convert the video to that dimension. Same with, you know, also Instagram page videos, you can do a square one. I'm just gonna stick to 16:9 because most of my videos are on YouTube. But if, for example, if you make a lot of video for social media, then you would want to choose something like 16:9 or, you know, the square dimension. So yeah, also if again you don't want, you know, if you don't want all of these footage to lay down all at once, you can also just, you know, just import one at a time so that you can arrange them where you want them to go. I wanted to show one other feature with the plus button is that you can also capture video automatically onto your timeline using Adobe Rush. Let me make sure my desk is good, looks good. So if I were to, let's say, you're gonna see my water bottle, but if you press capture, what you'll see is that you're going into the camera photo now, and you can record a video. The cool thing, and this is really good, somebody said that they wanted to make cooking videos, right? Or recipe videos. This is really, it's gonna be really helpful for that, because what you can do is start recording a clip, and let's say I did something, you know, showing people how to open the bottle, and then you can stop it. Well, right on the bottom, right here, it's saying that, oh, you just recorded one video. Then you can press record again, maybe show this little snack box that I have here, little nut, healthy heart nut can here. You can stop that. And then now it's saying that you have 2 videos. When you press that check mark, those clips are going to be imported directly into your timeline. And as you can see, now those 2 clips are right next to each other. Of course, the way I filmed it was 16:9, so the video is not where the video is not is the width of it is too wide for or too small, I guess, for this ratio. So whatever ratio frame that you're using for your video, you just want to make sure you film that way too, so then you don't have to adjust the video clip, the size of the video that you captured. So this is really cool because if I were to make a recipe video, I pretty much already have 2 edits already, you know, and you can do it. It's pretty seamless. Now moving on really quick. And then to delete a video, you just have to tap on that video and then delete. I'm just going to delete these because they don't match the rest of my footage. All right, so next up, what we have in the menu is this little box that looks like a little gift basket down here. This is what is your asset folder. So it has all of the footage that you basically are using and also the footage that you just created. So even though I deleted them off the timeline, I still have them if I really wanted to bring it back into the timeline. And then here's where I think this is the cool feature about Adobe Rush is that I have this really simplified looking timeline, right? But if I clicked on this three little lines here, this changes my timeline into something that looks kind of the same as Resolve, right? You have all those audio and video tracks. You can, you know, turn off and on the video clip. You can mute them. You can lock them so they don't move. You can add audios on the bottom. The difference between the mobile versions, actually between Rush and Resolve, is that you can only create about 4 video tracks and 3 audio tracks. And also in Rush, your audio is actually with the video. So they're attached, as you can see right here. There you can see that's attached right here. Right, and then I already went over, if you clicked on that box, the 2 little box, you can adjust the frames, the different size of the video that you want to export. All right, let's go into individual clips. When you select individual clips, it gives you a lot of different options. The first one is to split the clip. So if you just wanted to, let's say this is where I wanted to cut the clip of her cooking, I'll just click it and split it. And it'll just split the video in half, or it'll split it where you want it to be, where you want it to split. And then you can also just delete it, that second clip, if you didn't want it. Or if, let's say I want another version of this little photo, you can duplicate and you'll have two photos or 2 of the same clip. But I'll just go ahead and delete that one. I like this layout more because it reminds me more of the editing program that I use. And so I can see the tracks. To move a video on top of another one, all you have to do is just drag and drop it on top like that. And then if you click that timeline button again, for the simplified timeline, you can see that it's on top. Even in the simplified layout, you can still drag and drop, but I like being able to see my audio and video tracks. So I like editing and I like using this layout more. So now we have, you know, a video clip and then 2 on top of each other. One thing to note is that when I move the video clip, everything ripples and moves in, and there's no space. Remember how like in Resolve, we deleted a clip and then there was a blank space between 2 clips? And this in Resolve, it just kind of moves everything together. So just keep that in mind when you're editing it. One other feature I think is really cool that about this program is, let's say, let me just move this back to the end, is you can also use this feature called separate audio. And you can separate the audio from that video clip right there. So now this audio clip is its own solo clip that you can modify and edit as you want, or you can cut and split as you want. You see how it's kind of like splitting just the audio and not the video, because I separated the audio from the video. To undo, you see that there's a little button on the top, little back button, just to undo everything. So always look for the undo button. Again, it is your friend. One thing to note with Adobe Rush is that if you delete it, let's say I deleted the whole audio here. Well, now I don't have audio, I believe. Let's play. Let's see. Can you guys hear it?
Some rice and
Okay, so there's audio here, but if we go into the
yes, very beautiful area. Nice bridge they put in. It's pretty new.
we don't hear her audio anymore, right? So since we already separated the audio, we can't really put the audio back, but you can just separate the audio again and it'll make another copy of the audio. So it never really disappears for real. You still have the option of bringing it back. If anything, you can always, go back. But now the audio and video are not really tied in together. Yeah. All right. So those are kind of like some of the simple features of this, editing software, mobile software. Next up in the menu, you'll notice that if you kind of like drag your fingers on the bottom, you'll be able to see a whole bunch of different settings that you can use. The first one that I'll go over with is like the graphics. You can press add graphics and then be able to add some free graphics, and the ones with the stars are the paid versions. But we can add like a title, for example, and then just press add. And then down here, you can see that now that we've added a title up here, let me just add it. And you can also just kind of like, if you wanted to extend the title, just drag the corners out and in. But once you select it, just like the inspector window in Resolve, there's now a new menu down here that you can adjust the fonts. Oops, whoa, sorry guys. You can adjust the fonts and the characters and the different, like whatever font you want on there. You can adjust the layers, like the top title versus subtitle. And then if you click subtitles, then all this adjustment will only affect the subtitle. If you click why does that keep happening? If you click the title, then, all the adjustment behind it will affect just the title. Right. And the next menu is pretty simple. It just allows you to, create transitions and effects like that. Transitions related effect. So if I wanted to dissolve between these two clips, I can just add an effect right there and it'll dissolve from one clip to the next. So there's a whole bunch of features here. I'm not going to go over all of them, but then you can kind of play around with them. Again, I always suggest for editing to use the most simple transitions you can, because those usually are more seamless than all the other, like pushing the video to the left or the right. So just keep that in mind. Somebody said, it support Kamai font, the Adobe Rush program? I actually have not tested it yet with Kamai font. So if you guys have Kamai font on your phone, because I don't even know how to install it on my phone. If you have it on your phone, maybe you can try it out to see if it you can actually write on there, which would be great if it supports Kamai font.
Did not support.
No?
No.
Darn. Darn. That's
They just show the box.
Oh no. A blank page, like are you talking about like a blank screen, like a black screen or something?
Yes, sort of a black screen and probably has some text on it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think so. With Rush, I think you'll have to add in like a graphics or like an image that's black, and then overlay it with the text. Let's see if they have something like that. Let's search and see if they have something that's just solid. Yeah, it doesn't look like they have anything like that. So what I would suggest is that you can just add either like just like a black image or something, and then overlay that and then put the title over it. Since everything kind of moves, even if I were to like move this, like everything kind of ripples to the front. So that would be my suggestion, and that would be the way I would do it on the mobile. Effects, we already went through effects. The color really quickly, it's just kind of like similar like Instagram. You can select different colors, features that they have in here. And then if you get, more into it, and you can do the intensity of those color, and you can adjust highlights and shadows. So if you know about shadows and highlights, you can adjust those in these settings right here as needed. And then you can always reset over here. And the other cool thing I should mention is that you can also apply that setting to all the videos. So you can say apply to all, and then you would apply to all the other clips. But again, I would always do color correction at the end after you've done all your edits, then do color correction. I'm not going to go over speed, but it's pretty much what it says. It's just speeding up or slowing down a video clip. And then audio, and this is, we talked a little bit about it yesterday about using music, and Adobe Rush does have some free ones and some paid ones. So what I would do is just Google or just search, free, and then all of these are the free music that they have that you can use. Anything without the star you can use, and it looks like they have a pretty good amount of music that you can use, which is cool. Let's find one. Let's find a song. When you select the song, all you have to do is add it, and it'll add it down here in the audio section. This is not a great song for this video, but as you can see, you can you can add different type of music on the down here, and then you can also adjust the volume of that particular clip so it is playing.
We're staying.
Great. Great. Any questions so far? It's pretty simple to use, right? I think so too. All right, let's go to what all right, there's also the transform button, where you can, if for example you had a video that was smaller than this ratio or different, you can fill the screen up or you can make it fit into that screen. So this is an example of if you had smaller videos or videos that were too big for this format, or you can fit it or fill it in here. And then you can also use this to flip your videos horizontally and vertically. And it's not completely free. Like, it is free. You can export videos for free. You can add certain music for free. Not all transitions and not all graphics are free. So that's the only thing with Rush. But again, I think that if you start out with more simple edits and simple graphics, your video will look much better than if you did like really crazy graphics. So for a beginning editor, I would just start when focus on your story first and making those simple edits instead of focusing too much on all the fancy, graphics at first. All right. Yep, scale, you can adjust the scale. Let's see. Oh, you can see it's super small now. I don't know if you guys can tell. I made it a little bit smaller, but you can adjust the scale as you want. And then you can also, if you keep scrolling, you'll be able to also crop from left and right again, if you wanted to create those frames, for example, you could do the same sort of method that I showed you in Resolve, where you could just put a black or white or whatever color image below the video and then crop the video to create a frame. That's probably the hard way to do it, but it's a way to do it. And video editing is all about troubleshooting how you would do it. How can you tell, or how does Adobe Rush on mobile support editing and portrait and landscape transitions? So are you saying transitioning from landscape to portrait for the transition? Because you can change your format to 16:9, and then, in that clip, you can transform and move your clip as needed. I don't think you can. I mean, you technically you can, but I don't know. I don't think you would want to go from, using a portrait video and then adding horizontal videos onto it. I mean, if you want to, the way you would do it, for example, this is a horizontal 16:9 ratio video, and I'm putting it in this 9:16 frame. You could just scale it down so that it's you can scale it down so that it's smaller, and it'll be it'll be the same ratio that it was filmed in, but then it'll be very small in your portrait video. So that's the only thing. You could do it, but I think maybe if you're gonna film or if you're gonna release your video in portrait mode, that you should crop your videos to kind of match that frame. Same with horizontal. If you're filming, let's say, I'll show you that clip that I just filmed in portrait mode. So let's go back to 16:9 format. I'll go to a different spot. I'll add the video that I just, sorry, I don't need to go there. I'll just add my portrait video again back into the project. Oh, did I add it already? Oh, I added multiple times. So in this video is a portrait mode video, a portrait video, right? So I would just transform it and scale it so that it would fit this horizontal landscape video. But I think you could do this. I like it when you use the correct ratio with the correct video frame, but that's just my preferences as an editor. One technique that I usually do when I have to do something like this is to make it more, especially if I'm using a portrait video and a landscape frame. What I'll do is I'll actually duplicate this, and the second video, I'll just expand it so that it kind of fills the frame of my landscape video. And maybe I'll put an effect on it, like, see if let me see if there's a blur effect. There may not be. Vignette. We'll just make it a different color. But usually what I'll do is I'll blur the background. So then it's still the same video, but it's more wider to fill the frame, and you can still show your portrait video in the middle. Usually I would blur it, but I don't see that there's an option to blur in the effects panel. Yeah. So maybe I won't blur it, but maybe in the graphics. Perhaps not. Normally I would blur it. Is there any tips for how to tell if your video is good enough? I guess that's not a really, it's a bit of a hard question. Like, how do you tell if your video is good enough? Everybody always wants their video to be good enough. I still want my video to be really good. I think the best thing is, focus on your story. And actually, from yesterday's post-workshop assessment, I got some answers that you guys wanted to learn more about the types of footage as videographers and how to take better footage. Well, and if you're also signed up for our video storytelling workshop with Stefan, he's actually going to be the one that's going to be going over all of those. He's going to be going over how to take footage, what kind of footage that you would film to tell your story. And he will really work with you and focus on what is the story that you want to tell. Editing is part of the production, is part of video production, but it really starts with, figuring out what your story is and then capturing the footage for that. And then at the end, post-production, which is the editing, then telling your story through the editing. So I think a lot of the time what you can do is, after you're done with editing a project, is get it in front of as many people as you can to give you feedback on it. And this is one of the reasons why I think Stefan's training is going to be really cool, because he also plans to provide those feedback for you. What could you do to make your story better as a videographer? And, maybe you need to make some adjustments in the pre-production, which is planning for the video, or maybe the production of filming footage. So he'll really be able to help you guys with that. For my training, I'm just really trying to get you guys familiar with editing programs, so that once you do have a story and once you do have this footage, you can start piecing them together. Even in a simple way, you can start piecing it together. Editing is really important, but having a really good story is also very important. Let's see. Let's go. All right.
Do you need to break now? It's 1 hour. You would like a short break?
Yeah. Do you guys want to take a quick 5-minute break? We don't have that much after this, actually. So maybe we could take a quick break, and then when we come back, like maybe a 5-minute bathroom break. When we come back, I'll show you guys how to export the videos, and then we can go into the rest of my presentation, and then I'll answer any questions related to this training or just in general about video editing and videography. And then if we end sooner than yesterday, I think that's good. So let's take a quick break, 5 minutes, and then we'll come back, and I'll show you guys how to export the video. And while we're on the break, if you guys have any questions about Adobe Rush, please write them down so then I can answer them when we get back. So I'll be right back. And yes, guys, take a bathroom break.
យើងជួបគ្នាម៉ោង 9-10 នាទី Okay.
Good. So come back at 5 minutes. What's that? 7 something. 7.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I'll be back. Was that 5 minutes? Somebody?
We give them 7 minutes. 1 more minute to go.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was my time is all wacky. It's actually morning there, so it's actually not 7:07.
Let's check if they have any
សួ
question
ស្តី
before.
ទាំងអស់គ្នាអញ្ជើញមកពីបន្ទប់ទឹកវិញអស់ណាអូខេអញ្ចឹងអាចចាប់ផ្ដើមវិញបាននៅអាចជួយ raise your hand បើសិនជាអាចចាប់ផ្ដើមបន្តទៀតបានឬក៏មានសំណួរអីអាចដាក់ក្នុង chat box ឬមួយក៏លើកដៃសួរផ្ទាល់ក៏បានដែរ
រៃបានចាប់ផ្ដើមបានមក
ចា៎
មក
អូ
ទៅ
ខេមុននឹងឌីបន្តទៅទៀតមានសំណួរអីបញ្ជាក់បន្ថែមទៀតទេ
nhưng mà tôi bảo là cái link này tha cho vẽ storytelling ấy rồi nhưng mà toàn bạn khi mà nhà em mà
អូខេចា៎ចាំខ្ញុំផ្ញើទៅ
con trai mà
ចា៎អរគុណ
Is he attending the video storytelling workshop?
Yes, Stefan, about Stefan.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys will learn a lot in that storytelling workshop. He's very good at you know, being able to write and plan for video, the story. So I think you guys will learn a lot. We initially wanted to do my training between his and his training, but because of time restraint, we kind of couldn't do it. But hopefully next time we'll do it in order.
Maybe he will come on the second workshop, or he maybe can meet some people face to face in person as well. He plan to come here.
Yeah, that'd be really helpful.
Yeah.
Oh, we forgot to pause the recording. So for 7 minutes, nothing. We'll have to make sure that
we'll have to cut it out.
Yeah, cut it out.
Okay, Lee, you can continue.
Okay, great. Let me go back to sharing my, right, if everybody is here, I'm gonna go back to sharing my mobile. So to export a video, it's also very simple in Adobe Rush. All you have to do is there's on the top, you can see that there's 3 buttons. All you have to do is click on the first one, which is, or the second one actually, which is an export button. And then you'll see that it has settings for quality settings. Right now, the preset is automatic. And I had to downsize the videos that I share with you guys so it's more easily accessible. But if you had a 1920 by 1080 video, like we talked about in Resolve, if you have a footage that is 1920, 1080 or 4K that you're working with in Rush, you can export different versions. So you can export a 720, a 1080. I think the lowest that you can go is 720, but you also don't want to go any lower. You know, I think with the way videos are right now, 720 and above, you should aim to film your footage at 720 or above. 720 if you don't have a lot of space. So definitely I would try, I mean, personally, I would stick at 10 with a 1080 resolution video, but again, for storage purposes, 720 is the resolution of these videos. So to export is fairly simple. All you have to do is just press the export button, and then it will start exporting your video. And the video should appear in your album once it finished exporting. I won't let it export because there's nothing to watch. We're using some video clips, so I'll cancel it. But go ahead, if you guys have videos that you want to export, you can do that. If you go back up to home, notice how this project is just called sequence 1. If you go back to the home button up there, you can also kind of like oh no, we did change it. How can I rename the sequence? Oh, sorry. I guess I can't rename the sequence. I haven't tried that one yet. Oh, there's one feature that I forgot to show you guys really quickly. And that feature is this button right here. On the, not the last button, but the one right before it. This is the expand button. And this just expands your timeline, your tracks, so you can kind of see like a bigger video of it, or like more expanded version. So you can see more of your audio files, for example. The audio files that are associated with the video clips. Right. And that's pretty much it for Rush. I also want to open up Rush. Oh, yeah, Elizabeth.
Yeah, I was wondering, when you're adjusting audio files, between clips, there can be differences in like volume and that sort of thing. Do you normally just have to do that by ear, or is there kind of a way to automate that process, or is it mostly just you adjust the audio?
Like to monitor the video, or like each clip is kind of different audio? Different levels.
Yeah, to make sure that like when they all play together, they sound the same and consistent, then they flow. Yeah.
I haven't discovered, and this may be because I don't use this program a lot, is I haven't discovered yet if there is a way for you to monitor. Like in Resolve, you can actually see the levels of each clip, and then you can adjust it. In Rush, I haven't yet seen the level indicator.
Okay.
But you might have to just go play it by ear and play each clip and then adjust the audio
accordingly. Okay.
Yeah, accordingly. Just don't change your volume while you're adjusting it.
So right, yes.
Just keep the volume at a certain level and then start adjusting as you play through. I mean, the cool thing is that you could play it, for example, and then adjust at the same time. So you could, like, for example, the audio level, for example, we can play it, and then we can adjust at the same time. So you kind of listen for the volume and then try to make sure the level is not too high. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry, I can't really answer that question because I'm not.
Nope, that was great. Thanks.
Okay, great.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I appreciate it.
I just found this program to be, the most similar to the editing program I use. So I thought this would be a really good program to introduce to you guys. Personally, I always edit on my desktop. I'm also biased, I guess. But, I'm starting to see with even at, after many years of editing, I'm starting to see how, you can really use something like Adobe Rush and be able to create really fast videos for like your social media or like the cooking videos, for example. Just being able to take videos, in order of how you would prepare a recipe, for example, and have it come in here and it's all laid out and all I have to do is adjustments, or maybe all you have to do is add, cut a little bit at the beginning or end of each clip and add titles, and then you have your video. It's really fast. So it's definitely not meant for big documentary projects. I would really suggest you use a desktop app for that. But for those short videos, this is, I think, the perfect tool for it. All right, so we'll go. I'm just gonna.
In this program, we can add subtitle. Yeah.
In this program, you can add titles, but I don't know if you can add subtitles. Let's try. It might not be possible, but it is possible on. You can create captions, because you can create any title. So technically, you could create subtitles. It's just not going to be as easy as what you would do in Resolve or a desktop editing program. Let me go to Premiere Pro, Rush. So this interface, if you guys can see, is actually Premiere Rush on desktop. And I just downloaded to show you guys how it looks like. But let's see if I can find my hard drive. Here's my hard drive that I've been using to create these video clips. Let's just add the night interview here. Just so I can show you guys how it looks like on desktop. So again, the desktop version, you can try it out and you can export 3 videos for free, I believe, and then you'll have to you'll have to get a subscription for it. So all the different menus and graphics that we went over on the mobile, you see it's also here. So you can use them, add titles and all that over here. Oh, it's kind of slow. But yeah, so you have a lot of, it's a little bit more easier to look at it than on the mobile, but you have basically the same feature, but now you can edit it on your mobile device, and you can adjust and have the different layers. Again, it doesn't look like it's showing a volume. Oh, no. It is. So this on mobile, it's actually showing it. Maybe I'm just not finding, on desktop, it's showing you the levels over here. Maybe on mobile, I'm just not finding it, but if you had the desktop version,
the edge of the frontier, right?
You'll be able to monitor your audio over here at the end here. Right. So just a quick look at how the desktop look. I'm not going to go over it just because it has pretty much the same feature as the mobile. Let's go back to my PowerPoint here, and we'll try to end the training. I want to also talk a little bit about and show you guys an example of like a project that I would edit and how it would look if you did like a documentary style video. So just quit out of some of these stuff. So I want to highlight really quick, the different types of style of videos that I create, and this might help you when you're thinking about creating videos for yourself. Is what kind of style of video do you want to create? At Fishbowl, our video style is, these are the feelings that I associate with our videos. Feelings of inspiration, motivation. When people watch our video, I want them to feel excited. I want them to, with the music to be very powerful. And so the type of music that I choose are kind of folk music, acoustic music with guitars, sometimes rock, depending on the subject of the video. If we're installing a fish monitoring weir, for example, we'll do some sort of rock music. But I wanted to show you guys quickly how these feelings can be translated in a video. And this is one of this is a very simple video that we created about studying fish on the Tuolumne River in California, and it's been shown in a couple of different film festivals, but in Tuolumne County, just to share, you know, what the fisheries research is like in that river. So I'll play it really quick for us. Let me know if you guys can't hear it. So you guys can see, like in that video, it kind of, could you guys tell it sort of kind of shows the feeling, those feelings that I wrote down, kind of inspiring and some music and visuals and text that inspires people and motivates them to learn more about the river. So when in your own video, I think it's important for you to kind of think about those type of things. What kind of feeling do you want people to feel when they watch your video and you know, hear of the story that you're trying to tell? And so quickly, I just want to show you guys one of the projects that I actually the project that I took those editing training clips from. And I just want to show you guys the magnitude, I guess, of what it looks like to edit a big documentary project like that. So this is actually in Adobe Premiere Pro, and this is the editing program that, as I mentioned, this is the main editing program that I use on a daily basis. But this is the Fishing Among the Mountain documentary that I was showing the clips of. As you can see, I have multiple layers, definitely multiple layers of footage, a lot of audio footage, a lot of sound effects, a lot of clips. I think this video was about 20 minutes. There's a lot of clips in there. I can't play it because my computer is a little bit slow. But you can see there's also a lot of different subtitling that I've been using. But there's a lot of different transitions. Some of those transitions, the same transitions that we went over today, I use in this video to transition from scene to scene. Since this trip was over, I think, a week. The biologists that went to this trip filmed over a week, or maybe a week or two, I can't remember, of footage, and then gave it to me to edit. And so there's a lot of different scene transitions in this clip, but you can see that it does take a lot of different cuts, and it does take a lot of patience. So I just wanted to show you guys what a completed timeline looks like with, with all your visuals and graphics and sound effects and interviews cut together. It's a lot of cutting. I'll go back to here. And I just want to sort of end with some general tips, is that when you're working on editing your video, keep your audience in mind. Who are the people that you want to see this video, and how do you want the video to impact them as an editor? Because as editors, we actually have a lot of power, because we can change the direction of the story. Obviously, you want to plan what your story is and stick to it. But, as an editor, you can't really change the story. So you want to be mindful of what is the story you're trying to tell, and who are you trying to tell it to. All of your videos that you'll be editing, or projects you'll be editing, or story that you'll be telling should have a beginning and an end, middle and an end to it. So there should be a start and middle and end, and there should be some sort of change between the beginning and the middle and the end of the video to make it more interesting. Another general tip for everybody, is to learn those keyboard shortcuts, those Resolve shortcuts that I sent you guys. When you can learn those shortcuts faster, it makes editing go really fast. Otherwise, there's a lot of clicking. A lot of industry editors who are really, been working in the industry for many, many years, all they do is keyboard shortcuts. They just edit everything on the keyboard and then use the mouse a couple of times. So there's not a lot of clicking. It's a lot of keyboard shortcuts. So practice those keyboard shortcut, really try to learn them. And then in some programs like Premiere Pro and perhaps DaVinci Resolve too, I haven't tried it out yet, but you can also set your own keyboard shortcut so that you know how to get to what you need to get to faster. And another tip is to always keep your edits simple. You don't need to do those crazy transition where the video flips up and down. Those are very old style transitions. Some one tip would be, if there's a video or a film or a documentary that you've seen that really inspires you and made you want to be active and do something about the subject, I would encourage you to watch it, and this time watch it again looking at the way it's cut. So what's the first way? How do they introduce the topic? What's the first shot that you see? How does it come about? Do they fade in when the video starts, or do they cut right into the action? And then to keep in mind for everybody is video editing is like putting together a puzzle. So you really have to be patient, and troubleshooting is key. So patience and troubleshooting is key when it comes to video editing. So you really have to be patient. Sometimes things do not work the way you want it to be, but you really have to be patient. It's a very tedious job, video editing. So be patient and take it one step at a time. And if you encounter any issue, try to troubleshoot it. For example, somebody was earlier when you asked me how to create a outline of the video, the solution I gave you was a solution that I just troubleshoot at the moment since I haven't used that graphic feature before. So I'm sure there's easier ways to do stuff, but as a beginning editor, do what you can and troubleshoot it the way that would make sense for you and that would get you to where you need to go. So if you have to go in a kind of roundabout way to create that look, you can do that. And then, as the more you edit, you're going to learn more and you're going to become more efficient. So don't stress about it. Just be patient and troubleshoot. And that's pretty much all I have for this training. We're a little bit early, 30 minutes early. So if you guys have any questions, I can answer any questions you guys have now. Oh. Let me know if you guys have any questions about Rush or Resolve or just editing in general.
Training យើងដល់វគ្គបញ្ចប់ហើយប៉ុន្តែវគ្គនេះដល់បើសិនជាយើងមានសំណួរអីអាចបើក microphone unmute ដើម្បីសួរព្រោះយើងនៅសល់ពេលអញ្ចឹងណា
ឬមួយក៏អាចចង់ឲ្យសង្ខេបអ្វីដែលគាត់បាននិយាយអីចឹងSandyអាចសង្ខេបតិចទៅ
I hope most of you guys are joining Stefan's training because I think it'll be really helpful. He's going to be talking about those compositions, video compositions and all that. And I believe he's going to talk about some drone stuff too. So that's always fun. Drone videos are always fun.
ចឹងដូចឌីគាត់និយាយចឹងខ្ញុំគិតថាបើសិនជា software ទាំងអស់គ្នាផែនមើលទៅវារៀងធម្មតាសាមញ្ញដែលយើងព្រោះសិតតែធ្លាប់ធ្វើលើ Adobe Premiere អីចឹងវាពិបាកជាងចឹង software ដូច DaVinci ហើយនិង Adobe Rush ដែលគាត់បង្ហាញហ្នឹងมัน complicate ប្រហែលទេសម្រាប់ទាំងអស់គ្នាតែ general tip ដែល D គាត់និយាយមុនហ្នឹងយើងគួរតែអនុវត្តដែរព្រោះស្អីដែលយើងធ្វើក៏ដោយគឺយើងត្រូវគិតដល់ audience របស់យើងធ្វើម៉េចឲ្យពួកយើងទោះយើងអ្នក editor មែនប៉ុន្តែយើងមិនធ្វើឲ្យមើលតែឯងទេអញ្ចឹងគួរតែគិតមុននឹងធ្វើគិតដល់ audience របស់យើងត្រូវរៀប structure រឿងរបស់យើងនឹងមិនត្បូងផ្ដើមមិនពាក់កណ្ដាលមិនបញ្ចប់មិនមានតួអង្គណាខ្លះអញ្ចឹងណាហើយគួរតែមាន take home message ថាដូចបើសិនជាចេញមក clip ក្នុងរយៈពេល1នាទីហ្នឹងយើងចង់ឲ្យអ្នកដែលមើលហ្នឹងយកអីទៅគិតគឺមាន message អីហើយចំណុចមួយទៀតហ្នឹងសម្រាប់ video editor ហ្នឹងស្អីដែលសំខាន់ជាងគេពេលដែលយើងកំពុងតែ edit ហ្នឹងគឺយើងស្គាល់ keyboard shortcut ហ្នឹងហើយដើម្បីពន្លឿនការងាររបស់យើងតែមិនអញ្ចឹងទេវីដេអូមួយខែធ្វើអត់ទាន់ហើយបើមិនសិនយើងអត់ស៊ាំជាមួយ keyboard cut ហ្នឹងឡើយតែ click ចុះ click ឡើងហើយចំណុចសំខាន់ចុងក្រោយគឺពេលខ្លះយើងគិតថាការកាត់ហ្នឹងរបៀបយើងកាត់តចូលគ្នាហ្នឹងមើលទៅធម្មតាប៉ុន្តែធម្មតាហ្នឹងវាអាចប្រសើរជាងអីផ្សេងដែលយើងថែម transition ថែមអីរៀងងាយហើយមើលទៅរៀងជាក្បាលវិលមុខដូចគាត់និយាយអញ្ចឹងវាជា traditional នេះទេអីដែលពីមុនមែនគឺជួយចិត្តលេង transition បញ្ចូល effect បញ្ចូលអីប៉ុន្តែចុងក្រោយបច្ចុប្បន្ននេះអ្នកកាត់តគាត់ច្រើនតែធ្វើអីរៀបសាមញ្ញធម្មតាទេមានគេមានសំណួរឬ mark ឬក៏ comment អីទេអាច unmute ហើយនិយាយបានណា
And if you guys are attending Stefan's training in between his 2 workshops, if you're, I think in between his 2 workshops, he's hoping that you would be working on your video and editing them. So if you guys encounter any issues while you're editing, feel free to message me or send me an email and I can also help answer some questions while you're editing your project. I think that's all I have. I was going to say something, but I forgot.
អញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាទាំងអស់គ្នាដូចលើកំពុងកាត់តវីដេអូណាមួយហើយជួបបញ្ហាអាច email សួរ D បានគ្រប់ពេលក្រុមការងារឬក៏ផ្ញើទៅបងសាលាក៏បានដែរយើងជួយ
I remember what I was going to say. Yeah, please leave some comments in the assessment, especially for like the future training, what kind of training you guys would like. We can, like I say, do more of an advanced video editing training, but it's really dependent on if everybody, want and need that type of training. So please fill that out so we can bring you guys better trainings and trainings that you need.
យើងនៅបន្តបដិបដាមានវគ្គ training ផ្សេងៗទៀតប៉ុន្តែទាំងអស់គ្នាអាចប្រាប់មកបានថាដូចក្រោយពីរៀនតទៅនឹង editing software ហើយស្អីទៀតហ្នឹងស្អីដែលបានរៀនកន្លងមកហ្នឹងចង់រៀនអីទៀតអាចប្រផុសមកបើគិតថាវាមានប្រយោជន៍សម្រាប់ទាំងអស់គ្នាឲ្យក្រុមការងារអាចជួយបានអញ្ចឹងណាហើយយើងមាន post training assessment មួយទៀតសម្រាប់ថ្ងៃនេះដែលឃើញ link នៅក្នុង chat box ហ្នឹងជួយបំពេញផងចាប់អារម្មណ៍អីឬក៏ចង់បន្ថែមបន្ថយអីអាចដាក់ក្នុងហ្នឹងបានណាហើយសង្ឃឹមថាថ្ងៃក្រោយយើងអាច train នៅជួបមុខគ្នាផ្ទាល់ជាជាងក្នុង Zoom នេះ
ស្ដីបង link ហ្នឹងមកសុំមកខ្ញុំបំពេញហើយដល់ពេលថ្ងៃហ្នឹងទៅចុច link ហ្នឹងម្ដងទៀតទៅគេថា you've already responded.
Sorry, could you say that again? Sorry, I was zoning out for a second.
Yeah. For the post-training assessment link, when I click on it, it says you've already responded.
Oh, okay. Then you're already good. Then you don't have to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. I actually have a question. I don't know how to like I don't know its technical term. Probably I'll go around describing it. There's I think it's usually used in commercial videos. It's like the changing of light, but I don't know if they actually use the lighting equipment or they have the effects inserted into the video. It's like it's a cool commercial video.
Is it like lens flare? Lens flare?
I'm sorry, I have no idea.
Maybe color grading.
Is it like the light kind of like shines onto the video and it's a different color light?
Yeah, and then sometimes it's black, sometimes it's white. It keeps changing in a cool vibe, but I don't know the terms.
Yeah, I would try to maybe search lens flare is what it seems like what you're describing is like a lens flare. The changing in light, it happens like kind of really fast, right? That's the one thing I could think of. Like if you want to do transition from one clip to another, a lot of the time some video editors will use lens flare to kind of change from one scene to another. So yeah, try searching lens flare. That might be the term that you're looking for. But yeah, in terms of lighting, it really depends. If you're in the studio, most of the time the light is a controlled light, and then if you're outdoors, which is a lot of the time the videos that I make are all outdoor lighting, so that's a little bit different.
Yes, thank you. I'll try that.
Okay, yeah, try searching that. Yeah, just lens flare is just another different types of transition effects you can use.
Means in the way that theyឆ្ងល់ទេឬក៏ចង់ចែកម្លែកបន្ថែមពីលើអីដែលយើងបានបរៀនណា
នៅក្នុង link នៅក្នុង chat box ខ្ញុំផ្ញើវីដេអូនៅក្នុង YouTube របស់ Stephen ជាទូទៅអ្នកដែលចុះឈ្មោះ training របស់ Stephen video storytelling ហ្នឹងគឺត្រូវមើលវីដេអូទាំង6ហ្នឹងសិនមើលចាប់សពគ្រប់ហើយបានពួកខ្ញុំរៀបចំ set up ថ្ងៃ training លើកទី1អញ្ចឹងអាចចូលមើលទាំងអស់គ្នានៅក្នុង YouTube ហ្នឹងហើយពួកខ្ញុំនឹងផ្ញើទៅទាំងអស់គ្នា តាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងពេលវេលាដែលត្រូវរៀននៅក្នុងខែ11ហ្នឹង
chứអ្នកដែលគាត់អត់ register បង
ចាំពុទ្ធលីគាត់នឹងផ្ញើ register form ទៅ
អូខេ
ចាដោយសារតែឥឡូវពួកគាត់បានចូលរៀនពាក់នេះបានន័យថាគាត់បាន register គាត់មាន email address ហើយអញ្ចឹងគាត់អាចចូលមើល YouTube នឹងបានព្រោះ YouTube នឹងយើងអត់ទាន់ចែកចាយទៅខាងក្រៅទេគឺយើងប្រើប្រាស់សម្រាប់អ្នកដែលបានចុះឈ្មោះចូលរៀនពាក់នឹងសិនហើយ YouTube នេះនឹងចែកចាយទៅ public នៅពេលដែលយើង complete workshop របស់យើង training workshop របស់យើងម្សិលមិញខ្ញុំបានផ្ញើ email ចេញទៅមួយតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងខ្ញុំមិនដឹងថាទាំងអស់គ្នាបានទទួល email ពីខ្ញុំអត់ email តាក់ទងនឹង post assessment ហើយក៏ដូចជាអញ្ជើញឲ្យចូលរួម download ហើយនឹង training ថ្ងៃហ្នឹងអញ្ចឹងណាប៉ុន្តែមាន email មួយដែល reply មកខ្ញុំវិញថាខុសអីអញ្ចឹងព្យាយាមទាំងអស់គ្នាត្រួតពិនិត្យមើល email address របស់ខ្លួនបើសិនជាដាក់ខុសអីអញ្ចឹងវាអាចផ្ញើទៅអត់ចូលអីអញ្ចឹងហើយដល់ពេលចុងក្រោយ comment មកថាអត់បានទទួលហើយគាត់ក៏អត់បាន feedback មកយើងវិញភ្លាមដែរដល់ពេល training ហួសហើយបានគាត់ប្រាប់ថាអត់បានទទួលព័ត៌មានអីគាត់ចង់ចូលរៀនប៉ុន្តែគាត់បានទទួលព័ត៌មានអីអញ្ចឹងអាចមានបញ្ហាអីតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងការ access information អាច email មកក្រុមការងាររបស់ខ្ញុំផ្ទាល់ឬក៏ទូរស័ព្ទមកក៏បានដែរដើម្បីយើងទទួលបានព័ត៌មានផ្នែកថ្មីផ្សេងទៀតហើយក្រោយពី
វណ្ដានិយាយថាអត់បានទេបង
អញ្ចឹងវណ្ដាអាច drop email address នៅក្នុង chat box នឹងបានទេ
ជួនអ្នកផ្សេង
ឬទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលគិតថាដើម្បី secure ថាយើងមាន email address ត្រឹមត្រូវអាចជួយ drop នៅក្នុង chat box នឹងទាំងអស់គ្នាពួកខ្ញុំនឹងផ្ញើ email ចេញទៅសម្រាប់ពាក់ប្រដបដាបន្តទៀត
អូខេបងសម្រាប់ខ្ញុំក៏ដូចជាអត់ឃើញ email ដែរ
អូខេ
ឃើញតែខាង YA ផ្ញើមក
អញ្ចឹងជួយ drop email ទាំងអស់គ្នានៅកន្លែងនេះតិចមក
ចាបង
ឬមួយក៏មានប្រើ Telegram ទេបើមានប្រើ Telegram អាចដរាប់លេខ Telegram ផងចាំពួកខ្ញុំ add Telegram group ហើយ share information តាម Telegram ផងតាម email ផងបន្ថែមទៀត
ចា
ចឹង email ហើយនឹងលេខ Telegram របស់ខ្ញុំអាចទំនាក់ទំនងមកខ្ញុំបានហើយពុទ្ធលីអាចជួយ drop email ហើយនឹងលេខ Telegram ផងតាម
ពុទ្ធលីកៀង Zoom
អូខេអត់អីចាអញ្ចឹងដោយសារតែយើងចិត្តដល់ម៉ោងហើយយើងនៅសា15នាទីទៀតដែរតែបើសិនជាមានសំណួរអីចង់សួរបញ្ជាក់ទៅឌីឬក៏ក្រុមការងារខ្ញុំបន្ថែមទៀតយើងនៅមានឱកាសដើម្បីជជែកគ្នាឬមួយក៏ឥឡូវអត់ទាន់នឹកឃើញប៉ុន្តែពេលណានឹកឃើញអាច email ឬក៏ Telegram មកពួកខ្ញុំឬក៏ទូរស័ព្ទអីផ្សេងអាចសួរព័ត៌មានតាក់ទងនឹង training ឬមួយក៏អ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាមានវីដេអូឬមួយក៏មានជាអត្ថបទអីទៅសេឬក៏ការថតរូបអីផ្សេងដោយសារតែក្រុមការងារពួកខ្ញុំគាត់មាន expert ខាងវីដេអូផងខាងថតរូបផងដូចជាលោកគ្រូសុថេពគាត់ជាអ្នកជំនាញខាងថតរូបអ្នកកាសែតមកពីប្រទេសថៃហើយក៏គាត់ជា partner របស់ Stephen គាត់សិតជា partner ដែលធ្វើការតាក់ទងជាមួយនឹងថតវីដេអូថតរូបភាពហើយដែលយើងប្រើប្រាស់នៅលើប្រព័ន្ធបណ្ដាញ social media របស់ Mekong នោះគឺពួកគាត់ជាអ្នកសម្របសម្រួលហើយប្រើប្រាស់រូបភាពពីក្រុមការងារគាត់ហើយក៏ដូចជាបើសិនជាចង់ជួបបុគ្គលិកខ្មែររបស់យើងគឺលោកច័ន្ទណាឈុតឈិណាចាបងឈិណាគាត់ជាអ្នកធ្វើ videography សម្រាប់បណ្ដា Mekong ដែរ តែថ្ងៃនេះគាត់រវល់អត់បានចូលរួមទេអញ្ចឹងបើសិនជាមានសំណួរអាចអញ្ជើញសួរបានបើសិនជាអត់ទេយើងអាចបញ្ចប់វគ្គប្រកបដាថ្ងៃទី2ហើយពួកខ្ញុំទាំងអស់គ្នាអរគុណដល់ D សាមឌីដែលជួយក្នុងការសម្របសម្រួលជួយបកប្រែហើយ D ជាឱកាសនៅក្នុងកំឡុងពេលមិត្តបានថាគាត់កំពុងមានផ្ទៃពោះចិត្តគ្រប់ខែគាត់ជួយផ្ដល់វគ្គប្រកបដាមុនពេលដែលគាត់សម្រាប់មិត្តភាពនៅក្នុងពេលឆាប់នេះហើយអរគុណអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាដែលបានចូលរួមវគ្គប្រកបដារយៈពេល2ថ្ងៃពេញនេះហើយអរគុណសម្រាប់សំណួរល្អៗដែលបានចូលរួមមួយក្រុមការងារយើងខ្ញុំហើយបើសិនជាអត់មានអីទេខ្ញុំគិតថាយើងបញ្ចប់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយពួកខ្ញុំនឹងផ្ញើpresentation record ទៅអ្នកទាំងអស់គ្នាក្រោយពេលបញ្ចប់វគ្គប្រកបដានេះហើយ D នឹងផ្ដល់ជា certificate សម្រាប់អ្នកចូលរួមទាំងអស់គ្នាដែរ Do you have any last word?
No, just want to thank everybody for attending and being patient and attending both days if you were able to make it both days. So thank you so much for joining us and hopefully we'll see you again in another training.
Okay.
អរគុណបងប្អូន
ទាំងអស់គ្នាមាន last word អីទេអាចunmute ហើយអាចនិយាយទៅពួកគាត់បានបើអត់ទេយើងអាចបញ្ចប់វគ្គប្រកបដាប៉ុណ្នេះអរគុណច្រើនទាំងអស់គ្នា
See you.
Bye. See you guys.
Bye.
Thank you, Sala and Samadi and Sutavi and Putali. Bye. Have a great day.